Today's walk was something very special. The views on the summit of the first Munro were just amazing. Blue sky, an inversion, mountain tops poking out through the clouds. It was just amazing. I'm going to publish 2 videos for today's walk. One in the normal format explaining the route, and then the full time lapse with some of the video from the walk, and one with views from the summit of Sgòrr Dhearg. For today's walk I climbed the 2 peaks of Bheithir, Sgòrr Dhearg and Sgòrr Dhònuill. The car park for the start of this walk is in Bealach, and it's about 2 hours and 20 minutes from Glasgow. As always, I've included a link to the map and the route on OS Maps in the description below, and you can use this for free. You can also print off the map and the route for free just using the online OS Maps. You don't need to subscribe, you can just use the link below. The total distance for today's walk is just under 15 kilometres, and it's estimated to take around 6 hours with 1,335 metres of ascent. The navigation for today's walk was fairly straightforward. I'll show all the turn by turns in the time lapse. You start at the car park, and when you leave the car park you head to your right, and then at the first junction you turn left. There's a pub on the corner and a chip shop. You follow the road along until you cross a bridge, and once you cross the bridge you then turn left. And you walk down and you walk past the school. And this walk is climbing via Schoolhouse Ridge. Go through a couple of gates, follow the road, it turns into a sort of 4x4 track, follow that track until there's a very small cairn and you've just passed a gate with a stile and you've just crossed the stile. Just after that there's a very small cairn on the right hand side, and at this point you turn off the main 4x4 track and go up the mountainside. The path at this point is quite boggy, a lot of heather. It's not terrible, you can get through it without getting too messy, but it is a bit swampy. Until you eventually get onto some steeper ground, and then the path becomes quite good, quite a good quality path, and you follow that up. Until eventually you'll come to a craggy outcrop of rock on the ridge. And you'll see at that point a path going off to the left. Now I didn't investigate that because it's not the recognised route. The scrambling is quite easy. It looks intimidating, it looks quite steep and it looks quite difficult, but there are big holds. There was some slight ice and snow in the route and it wasn't difficult. So you just need to climb straight up the edge basically. Once I got to this point I came through the cloud and the views were just incredible. You keep going up until you get to the first summit, and then you descend slightly as you're going along the ridge. It's a very nice ridge until you come to the top of Sgòrr Dhearg. At this point I spent quite some time taking video footage of the surrounding mountains. You could see Beinn, you could see Glencoe. It was just, quite frankly, it was amazing. From there you continue along the ridge and you descend quite a considerable amount. You come to the bealach and then you go straight up the opposite side. The route finding is straightforward, the path is quite obvious. As you ascend this you come to a false summit, so it looks like you're getting near the top, but then you've got another ridge to go along. And you get some very slight scrambling, a rocky boulder section. The path isn't obvious, but you just keep making your way up. Just don't go too close to the right hand side. There's a big steep cliff face there. And when you get to the summit there's a large cairn. If I zoom in here, the cairn you see is here, and it looks like, as you can tell, there's a line there showing that this is higher, but there's no cairn at this point. So I walked across here looking for another cairn. So the cairn is at the front here. It looks like the highest point should be here. There's no cairn there. Make your own mind up when you get there. You turn back down to the bealach, and then from there the descent route is to come off. So you turn left. This bit is very boggy, it's not very pleasant at all, and you'll eventually, once you come along here, you will join a better path Once you get to about here, the path improves. You've actually started climbing up, you're gaining some altitude again, and then at that point there's a constructed path which is good to walk on. This map shows this having sort of trees on it, but they've all been felled, so this section is bare. You do join the woodland, it's a pine tree forest, you do join it around about here. And you come down through the forest, you cross over this road, heading towards the sign for the car park, you bend back to the right. The car park signs go to the left here, but we will go to the right, and then walk around the Munro all the way back to the car park. And it's fairly straightforward. You cut in onto the road here that takes you through town, and then that takes you back to the car park. Once again, I checked the weather report. So I was using the Mountain Weather Information Service, and I checked all regions. So I looked at the West Highlands and then the North West Highlands, the Cairngorms, and I have the report here for the West Highlands, and it showed there wasn't going to be much wind, especially around Glencoe. So 10 to 15 miles an hour. The chance of it being cloud free was only 30% up to 60%, so 60% nearer the Fort William area. And something I don't always do, I went and had a look at the Met Office website, and I looked at the weekend weather, and then I looked at the rainfall during the day, and you can play that and see where it looks like it's going to be wet. And the other thing you can check on the Met Office, which is really handy, is you can check the cloud cover. And so you can have a look at the day and then pick the time and then have a look how the cloud cover looks across Scotland. And from doing that, I concluded that the best area for walking was just around about here. I was looking at doing Gulvain, which is just up here, a little bit further north, but it showed cloud cover, whereas just south of Fort William, it was shown to be clear. Between 10 o'clock and 1 o'clock, there was a sort of 3-hour window where it looked like it would be very clear. So that was how I decided where I'd go walking this week, and it paid off big time, as you'll see in the video. The weather was amazing on the top of the first summit. So with that, we'll go over to the walk. Good morning. I'm parked outside the Bealach Visitor Centre for today's walk. It's a free car park. There is also a co-op car park beyond the line there. I don't know if they get upset if you were to park there all day, but this part is certainly free. You're free also to camp overnight here. So I slept in the car park. It is a very early start because of the weather. There is a window of hopefully clear skies at, well, around between sort of 9, 10 o'clock and up to 1 o'clock. Just now there is cloud on the hill, but hopefully we get some nice views from the top. There are also public toilets here. For a charge, 50 pence, you can even pay by card. So leaving the car park, we head down here to the right, and then we're going to go at a junction up there to the left, follow that road, cross the bridge, turn left, and we'll be on the side of the hill. It's a nice circular route, this one. I've done it once before. We're going to go down that road those cars have just went down. Taking a left at this junction. There was quite a lot of rain last night. The river's quite high looking. After crossing the river, we take the left to go up this road. I've come through a couple of gates there. After the last gate, it's about 700 metres continuing on this road, and then we'll turn right to go up onto the ridge. So just after passing this gate, there's a little stile to the left as you're approaching. So you don't go through the gate's locked. But once you pass this gate, you'll see a very tiny cairn, 2 stones, and this is where we turn off to go up to the right. And we're going to go up Schoolhouse Ridge. There's a little bit of scrambling, sort of 3 separate stages. It's not meant to be difficult. It's meant to look intimidating. We'll see how that, hopefully it clears up by the time we get there. This first section is a bit boggy. It's not terrible, but it is a bit soft and squishy. It's taken almost an hour to get to this point. I'm at 270 meters of altitude. It's a fairly steep climb, especially once you come off that path. Here we have some evidence of what Bealach is famous for. It's slate and quarries. It's 8:20 in the morning. The sun is just starting to come through. It's getting a bit lighter. I'm at 500 meters, just coming to a bend and a zigzag, which will take us back round. Cloud looks to be clearing up. This could be a really nice day. Really is looking promising. You can see the summit. Oh, I like it. There's a breeze. Oh, it's just coming out, look at that. Wind's not meant to get above 15 miles an hour today. Oh, this is looking amazing. Like it. This is simply incredible. Spectacular view. You've got to wait for it. I mean, that's just amazing. If you're down in Bealach, all you'll see is cloud. But once you climb up above it, from what I've read, the scrambling is quite easy. There's maybe sort of 4 or 5 meters of scrambling in the hardest section, but the holds are good. It's not meant to be too bad. But this is beautiful. For those of you who don't like scrambling, there is an alternative route that goes up that ridge over there. You can look that up on the internet. Don't know if that's the biggest Brocken spectre I've ever seen, or a white rainbow. It's quite stunning. Just as you approach this slightly orange coloured rock, I can see there is a path that goes off to the left. Now that's not the route that's on the map that I meant to take. I don't know where that would take you to. Our route goes straight up and over here. See how that goes. Now I'm at 670 metres. The top up there you can see is 870. The scrambling section is between here and that top up there. And I don't think there's much to do until you get to 750 metres. But I've put my poles away. I'm going to put a new battery in the GoPro. For this, you just take your time. Don't look down. It's really just one step after the other. And if you do it in small pieces, it's not too difficult. If you're trying to think of the whole lot at once, it can be a bit daunting. But this is a stunning morning in the mountains. Well worth the early rise. And the tallest one there, that must be Beinn Nevis. Yeah, there's a little bit of ice and snow around, makes it a little bit less steady. honestly don't know if that was the hardest part or if it's still to come. The rest doesn't look too bad from here. Looks like I've got two choices here, left or straight up. Both look relatively easy to do. So that's not difficult. As you can see, there's no big drop, lots of nice handholds. Maybe I should have climbed Beinn today. A beautiful blue sky. Honestly, it doesn't get much better than this. I could be here a long time taking these videos. It's just a beautiful day. Almost at the sort of top of this ridge. Goes on a little bit further to the Munro, and then a bit more down and up to the second Munro. But right now, I honestly don't want to leave this spot. The views are amazing. This is why we do it. Beinn Nevis Range, Sgòrr Dhearg. map of Glencoe. The Anach Ridge and Beinn. Just a little bit to go. So we've just got a little bit of a ridge to go round to get to the top of Sgòrr Dhearg, the first Munro of the day. There's a little summit here. It's not a Munro. This makes for a very enjoyable walk out. You can hear there's no wind. The sun is warm on your skin or on your trousers. And you have a beautiful sight like that ahead. Probably another 20 minutes to get to the top. Take about 3 hours from the car park to get to the top of the first Munro. I have been stopping to take videos, so I'm sure you could do it quicker. The snow is quite nice to walk on. It's not too hard, it's not deep. It's got a little crunch to it. I do have my crampons if I need them. I don't think I'll need them, it's not cold enough. Temperature at the summit was about -3 degrees. In the sun you don't feel it. Almost at the summit of Sgòrr Dhearg. Still a lovely calm day. Still some cloud around at this altitude. At the summit of Sgòrr Dhearg with Ben Nevis in the background. Stunning scenery today. We're at the top of a Munro and there's not even a breeze. There's the slightest movement of air. For once you can hear what I'm saying. Maybe that's not a benefit. And there's the second top for today. A little bit of cloud around it. Hopefully that clears up. Looks like all my wishes are coming true today. I better go and buy a lottery ticket. It's clearing up nicely. a contrast walking here just under the cloud. A lot colder and nowhere near as pleasant. The sun's up there, but it would be nice to get back up out of the cloud at the other side. So I'm at the bealach, the lowest point between the two tops, 761 metres. The top is up there, it's at 961 metres, so 200 metres of ascent, and it's 830 metres away. And you can see these two gentlemen have come up the descent track, so you just go down over there and down to the woods to go back to the car park. So it shouldn't take too long to get up and back out of the cloud. Almost there. Still a bit hazy here. Last time I wasn't almost there. Now I'm almost there. It's just up there, you can see the summit properly. Still in cloud. The last little rocky bit to climb up. I'm sure as long as you keep to the left it's fine. It's quite a cliff on the right hand side. And I've got a set of footprints to follow from that guy who just came down. So it should be fine. So quite a steep little bit at the end there. Not too difficult, very, very slight scrambling. Sgòrr Dhònuill, I think. Unfortunately it's not as clear at the top of this one. The wind's dropped down again, but we're in cloud. I'll have a drink, wait around 5 or 10 minutes and then I'll head back down. It's 11:30 in the morning. This one is a bit odd. There's a cairn, but when you look at the OS map or even the Garmin map, it doesn't look like it's on the highest point of the mountain. Anyway, I walked to where was the highest looking point, which seems to be here, and there is no cairn. So, and from over here, that cairn does look to be at the highest point. Honestly, going by the maps, it looks like this should be the highest point where I'm standing. Never mind, definitely got both points. Unfortunately, it does not look like it's going to clear up on this top. So, glad I made it up the first one early. Got the amazing views. Shame about this one. Going to head back down to the bealach and then down to the woods, down to the forestry plantation, and then round back to the car park. Still a fair bit of a walk to go. Probably not too much to see now. Just keep going. This shouldn't be very difficult to navigate. We've got footsteps to follow, and once we get down to just beyond where those guys are, it's just a straightforward downhill walk. You can see somebody just up there, just and no more in the cloud. That'll give us some scale. almost down to the bealach between the two Munro tops. You can see the route. I'm going to go down to the left and get off here, make my way down, just go around the mountain back to the car park. It is 10 minutes past 12. This does not look like it's going to be much fun. It's going to be slippy and boggy and wet. Yuck. Really not a great path. It's quite muddy and steep and a bit yuck. Walking poles is really helpful in this. You can just put them in front of you and rest, lean on them, take the weight and walk down. I think there's about 2 kilometres of this before we hit a good path that goes through the woods. I can see another faint trail over there. This probably joins up with it. I'm just going to skirt around and join it more directly. Having made my way down that steepest section of rocky, muddy stuff, we're now faced with a big field of boggy, muddy stuff. I can see down to the sea level there. So hopefully not too much of this to go. Looks like I've got to keep to the right of this fence and just go along the fence line on the right hand side at the moment. Just looking back at the path, as you come along there, the path starts to go up to the right, up high. So it takes quite a high line along the side of this mountain and then it'll cut back down. But the path is improved once it goes up that way. Just entered into the woods. It's a nice path here. It's quite a nice walk. This should eventually join up with a bigger sort of 4x4 road. Won't be long to get back now. When you come to this road, we're going to follow the sign for the car park. It's not for our car park, but we're going that way until we get to the next road, at which point we'll turn right. When you come to this road, we're going to go straight ahead, which is technically turning right when you join that road. And we've got a fair bit to walk all the way around the mountain to get back to Bheithir. Current time is 1:40 in the afternoon. We'll see how long it takes. You come to this big wide junction, and as you'd expect, we keep going straight on and then round to the right. about to go around in a big bend and then down and wind our way back down to the main road. Starting to hear a lot of traffic from the road. If you enjoyed the views from the top, please click like. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe. If there are any Munros you'd like to see that I haven't climbed so far, please put some notes down in the comments and I'll see what I can do. Thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one. When you join this road, you turn right. So here we can cut away from the main road and just go to the right. Then it's pretty much a straight path all the way back to the co-op and the car park at the visitor centre. One last turn and that's me back at the car park.